God, but those who want to see plus mentor blue. I am Jessica Sup. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher and Intuitive, and today we have a special healing session. It is all about connecting with our ancestors. And so if you're new to the community, welcome babies. This is your nightly self-care routine, a place where you just take care of yourself or fall asleep. And if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome babies. You're my new babies. And if you're returning, welcome, welcome back babies. Mama loves you, okay? So we're going to get started on this session. And we start the session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. May I touch you? Okay. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and allow us to validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay, so let's just go here. Now, if you really enjoy deep ancestor work, so we're just going to be a little bit surface level today, but deep ancestor work, I would encourage you to trace your genealogy, look up your indigenous origins, and explore more ancestor reference there. Here, we are going to be talking about your recent ancestors, so people that you have known in this life that have gone to pass on. So, let's get started here. So, I want you to think of that person or people, and it is the people that make you happy, bring a lot of gratitude into your life, give you a lot of peace, connect you in multiple ways, give you a lot of other stuff. Bring them into the forefront of your mind. So we're going to say right there at the crown chakra. And just remember how they made you feel. And start to breathe into that feeling. How did they make you feel? Breathe into it. Now feel that feeling just slowly drip from your head all the way to your toes. Remember a certain nostalgic time that you all were together, and remember it as if it is happening right now. Invite that energy into your space, that person to your space, just to reminisce about some good times. You know, when you haven't seen a loved one in a while and y'all talk about all the funny stuff from the past, even when the stuff wasn't funny then, but now you can laugh about it. Yeah. See their energy, and you can be whatever age you want to be, sitting in their lap or holding their hand or just being there with them. And start to talk to them, ask them how they are, how they've been. How's it going? And be in that moment with them. Enjoy that space with them. Does it feel good? Now, invite someone else in too. Y'all got a whole family reunion going on right now. reunited, do you feel? Now, start to ask or just simply have a conversation about things that are happening in your life today and get their take on it, because they're always with you and they've been eager to communicate with you. But if you haven't been listening to them, if you haven't been paying attention to the signs they're giving, this is a nice moment to open up and just be receptive towards that. What are they saying about this? Who you've been dating, or the projects you've been working on, or the purpose of your life? All these kinds of things. How you take care of yourself, your personal health, your mindset, mentality, your relationships, all across the board. Even if that incorporates healing something about y'all's relationship. Because when we're healing with two people who are alive, it's very different. Sometimes those people in the physical may need some boundaries, but energetically they can connect. When you're healing a relationship with someone who has passed on, they are at a higher vibrational frequency. They can see things more clearly, and it is much more positive feedback right in that moment. And so if there's any healing that needs to happen there, let it happen. Let it be healed with a hug, with a kiss, with a look, with some words, with just the presence of that person or those people. And you can actually start asking questions here. And the questions can go like, well, how do I know it's you, that you're sending me a message? I want to pay attention to what you're saying. And they'll let you know. Whenever you see a feather, whenever you smell roses out of the blue, whenever you just think or see a random color, that's me communicating to you. And of course it is unique to them what they're saying. And listen, because this is all about exercise. You're exercising your ability to do this so that you can hear them more and more, because there are things that you may not be able to see in your life, but they can see it a mile away. Because everything that we have and that we do in our life, it starts energetically and then it materializes. So they can see things that you may not be able to see, because they are pure energy at this point. So think about it. If somebody's going down a questionable path, the energy flowed in that direction and then it materializes. So your ancestors try to come and intervene, like, don't hang out with that person, don't go there, don't, and it doesn't always have to be people. It can be your health too. Hey, take care of yourself here, take care of yourself there. Same on the other side. If you're working really hard to build something, your ancestors see that too, and they will pop up and say, oh, I'm so proud of you, I'm so happy for you. But the only way that you can be connected is if you acknowledge them. So there's a lot of really sweet things you can do, and this is one of those things, just being in this moment with them. And that's why I said look up your indigenous traditions, your genealogy, because they can specifically tell you what your ancestors need. Your recent ancestors, you know them, you know what their favorite foods were, their favorite things, and you can, near their pictures, provide those things and talk to them, maybe just in your head if you don't want to say it out loud, to show them that you still care. But if you get into the deep lineage legacy work, then you would want to look up your genealogy, your indigenous traditions, and connect there. So breathe through this space and just feel them and sense them all around you, okay? Let them just flow all around you, and it's just like one big group hug. And sometimes you can have people that were positive in your life that didn't even know each other, but they're showing up here in this moment for you. Now, I want to explain some things. We are finite here in the physical. Energy isn't finite. You can have a grandparent who's there for you and all of your siblings, as opposed to you're right here, you can only be there for somebody one at a time, or if people are in the same location. So understand show up for you. Don't feel like that they have more important things to do. They're showing up for you. But at the same time, I think that they're exploring. They're having a good time. They're living their good energetic life. But souls can stick around a little bit because they really want to reunite with you. Eventually they can move on, go on, reincarnate, go do something else, be a part of some other energetic something, that of which is too big for probably us to comprehend. But the reason why they are sticking around is because they cannot wait to the day that they can reunite with you. And so they feel invested in your storyline. They feel invested in your happiness, invested in your peace, and also everything that you experience. A part of that is legacy. If your ancestors were never able to be successful, if they had trials and tribulations and stuff like that, but yet today you have the opportunity, they are going to be rooting you on, because through you, even though you have your own unique goals and desires, you are living out a dream that started out many ancestors before. And so these ancestors, they come together and they want to be in support of you. And it really hurts them when when I say don't pay attention, it's not that, oh, you gotta listen to them. That's oh, just listen to me. But when they're saying, we just want the best for you, and those situations aren't best for you, and you're thinking from a very finite perspective when your soul is infinite. So yes, you have these finite experiences, but also understand that your soul will go on past here. And when your soul transitions from this life into whatever the unknown is, understand that you are laying the seeds and the foundation in the finite for the infinite. You can heal a whole line, a whole ancestral line from the past all the way to the future, because we are the future ancestors. And we can do this in finite ways as well as energetic ways. Finite ways would be financial security. So you are creating environments of generational wealth or financial security, so those who come down in your lineage do not have to go through the same things that you went through. It can be emotional support and emotional balance as well. Maybe those environments in your ancestors didn't have a emotionally supportive environment, but you, where you're at, you can set a new tone. And when you do that for the future, it heals the past, because you all are this one flow of energy together. So continue to be there. I like to try to explain what's going on, because I don't want you to just be floating out here, because there's actually a lot of interesting things, phenomena that's going on. That's why when you learn other traditions, you learn other human phenomenon explaining, the unknown, it gives language to a lot of these mysteries, and there's kind of a connection of all of those together. And some of the language, different words can mean a similar experience, just from a different origin or a different culture. So keep breathing through this. Now, if you have any fear here, okay, any fear, if you were raised in a really maybe like strict religious household, not spiritual household, but a religious household, you have to do a lot of deconstructing here. What I mean by this is go do some history research. Why am I telling you this? Okay, because all of our indigenous traditions of the world were people at that time prior to our modern day religions. It was their take on what was going on around us, and they developed patterns in understanding and systems well before written communication that helped them navigate the world. And for some reason in the human experience, no matter where we were on this planet, recognizing and paying respect to our ancestors is something that we all just have done. And you can, the color of doing it is going to whatever your indigenous is or your genealogy is, and learning the practices there. But with that being said, in our modern world, we have vilified our indigenous practices, meaning saying that all of those practices are in some way in conflict with modern day understandings of higher powers, when the mentality of them being in conflict or them being wrong was more political than it actually was religious. A lot of our modern day religions started with very kind of open perspectives. They may have okay, this is what we believe, da 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 da, but it was just like, work with it. But when we start to get institutions involved, we start to get empires, we start to get civilizations involved, then those things shape into something else. And so that's why I say do the history, because you might be afraid of something when really what it is self-hatred. And I know that sounds like, oh, it's kind of harsh. And I've been told before, why you always talk about this stuff on Reiki Healing Hope? I want to escape. Because it's okay to, want to escape from time to time, but I want you to heal. I don't want you to be stuck in that you just, you always feel like, oh, when this is too much, I'm looking for an escape. Nah, baby, I want you to heal. And this is some powerful stuff that we're talking about, that can really change and transform you and make you feel whole in life, to solve the problem or to take you in another direction. So release the shame that has been placed on you and placed on your ancestors. Release that. Let it go. And talk to them. Be there with them. Allow them to love you. Allow them to be in this space with you. Because all of y'all who have ever felt alone, or felt like no one cared, or felt like no one sees you, or felt like you're not understood, maybe you feel that in the physical, but in the energetic, your ancestors are there just saying, please listen, you are loved, you are supported, you have so much potential. And when we don't trust ourselves, we don't listen to what the ancestors are saying to us, because it takes a huge amount of self-trust to be open enough to hear what they are saying, or to listen to the messages, or to receive those downloads that come through the universe and come through them. And so if you're in this spiral of just not feeling good about yourself, or not thinking that you can do this or that, they are sending solutions, help, guidance, and inspiration all the time. But when you see it, you don't trust it. So you gotta take the first big step of having courage to say to yourself, I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust myself. I don't care what society says. I know that these people in the physical loved me, and if they're still showing up in my life, I'm gonna pay attention to what they say, and I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to be whole. I'm going to create an environment, a system, a infrastructure in my life that brings balance, peace, and gives me and provides for me in all kinds of ways. And maybe systemic social structures have not been able to give you that fully, but you can give that to yourself. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed some of this ancestor talk, and I felt really inspired and called to talk about it, because I think on a global level, and it's not every culture or society, but I just think that there is this modernization of the human experience of the unknown. And a part of that modernization might be a bit of just not connecting on an energetic level. And sometimes when we talk about, gods and goddesses, archangels, even going into Orisha or other energies at that level, that might be exciting. But also remember, we have ancestors. And prior to the concepts of many of those energies, which I believe, this is just me, I believe a lot of these energies are just, when you go into a different culture, they're explaining it or giving it a different name. But prior to even the first written expression of these energies, the human experience was ancestor reference, was acknowledging our ancestors. And so life is a combination of all kinds of things. But I think it really is helpful for when people are depressed or they're anxious or they're sad to know that they are not alone when they're going through a hard time in life, to know that they are not alone, to know that they are loved, to know that there's just so much warmth surrounding them at all times, and that there is an energy that is constantly wishing you well. Life in the finite is, it is what it is. It's going to be ups and downs. But that energy that is around you, just protecting you, just holding you, just telling you in your lowest, in your darkest times that I am there for you. You may feel alone, but I am there for you. I want you to have the money you need. I want you to do that. All that stuff is with you at all times. So never forget that. So if there's anything that you feel like you can't do, know that they are rooting for you. If there's ever a solution that you need to a problem that you have, know that they can start to give you messages. They are there with you. And the work that you do when you show up and you have courage in this life is setting the foundation so that everybody who comes after you, your lineage, your line, all those that come after you, get to reap the benefit of this new energetic system you created because you found the courage to believe in yourself in this life. Well, babies, no one has said it. Let me go ahead and say it. Wash your hands. Wear gloves. In public. Wear a mask in public. And be sweet to yourself. And I love you. But, again, who cares that I love you? You have to love yourself a little bit more. And loving yourself opens up the trust that you have and that you need in this lifetime. I think there are a lot more better days ahead. Well, sweetness,